Clean couch. This is going to be a good start. Welcome to the show where I ask people, or I don't ask people. Why do I always say that? Welcome to the show where I have people. Welcome to the show where people ask me questions, ask me for advice, or just give us general stories about their life. And I read them into the camera here and we talk about them. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into these questions. How can I deal with my parents arguing, and how can I convince them to talk to a therapist? First, let me give you a little anecdote from my life. I don't have a relationship with my father. I've met him one time. I was 4 years old, and I have a couple glimpses of what I think he looked like. Those old toys you put up to your face and you click through the pictures. I can't remember what they're called, but that's sort of what my memories are like with my father. So I haven't experienced parents arguing. I've never seen my mother argue with my father. I'm only telling you all this because I want you to know that I'm not the most educated on this topic. I guess the first thing that we have to unpackage here is that you have to understand that your parents aren't this absolutely perfect, omnipresent deity that is incapable of making mistakes. They're human. We grow up with this almost certainty that our parents have the right answer for everything, and that whatever they do is right. There are certain things in our life that happen that image falters. And one of those things is we see our parents arguing with each other. How can someone argue with another person whenever they're supposed to have all the answers, right? The truth of the matter is that they're going through life just as you are. When we find out they are capable of mistakes, it makes us think that we were tricked. It makes us think that our whole life was a lie. So if you are able to remove that shroud of perfection that you may have had over your parents, that's the first step, okay? Before we even answer this question, you have to first understand that your parents are humans. Accepting this will allow you to be able to maybe not be too overly critical. I'm not saying you can't be critical. They're able to make mistakes, as we just said, so you're able to adjudicate them and you're able to call out things that you think aren't right. Probably the number one mistake that we make as children is that we don't tell our parents what we're really feeling. Maybe we're embarrassed. Maybe we don't want our parents to think that they're hurting us. There's a lot of restrictions on why we don't tell our family how we're really feeling. But I think you need to let them know that their arguing is not conducive for your mental health, for your emotions. You ask specifically, how can I deal with my parents arguing? I think that it isn't something you have to deal with. It isn't something that you should have to deal with, at least. So let them know how you feel. Let them know that this is not helping you. I think the biggest mistake here is thinking that you can maybe do something about it, because you really can't, because you're not the issue, okay? They're not arguing because of you. Even if, for some reason, your name was mentioned in any of their arguments, you're not the reason why they're arguing. There are pretenses to their arguments. There are unresolved issues to their arguments. There are things going on that you might not even know that are injected into that argument. I don't know why your parents are arguing. I'm not there. I just have this one sentence to go off of. But what I do know is that the arguing is not helping you. So what you have to do is you need to be upfront with them. And that's sort of your responsibility, not for them, not to stop them from arguing, but it's your responsibility to yourself, because you don't deserve to be watching this. But the second part here, you say, how can I convince them to talk to a therapist? That's not really something that you're able to do either. I think by you mentioning that you don't like seeing this and that it's hurting you, that their arguments are directly affecting their child, then I think that should point them in the right direction, and that right direction would be therapy. I think the chances of you dragging them into therapy against their will are very slim. Understand that whenever you give them advice and they don't take it, it's not because your advice isn't sound. It's not because your advice isn't great. They have a hard time taking advice from someone who they think they should be giving advice to. I think the best thing you can do is tell them how you're feeling. Tell them that this argument stuff is not working. I think it's a really hard thing being a parent, and it's maybe equally as difficult being a child, right? Your parents have their own unique psyche, and you have yours. And yours is developing. And although theirs is more developed than yours at a certain time, it doesn't mean that theirs is completely developed either. We're never done learning. We're never truly matured. We just gain life experiences more, I guess. I think what we do that's wrong is we confuse getting older with being done learning. And I don't know if that expectation is put on by the adults or if it's put on by the children, but either way, I don't think it's a good expectation to have. Age doesn't determine one's experiences, and it doesn't determine one's maturity. We are all striving to be the best version of ourselves, and that version never comes. But the point of life is that you're always reaching for that. So I went off on a tangent. Wow, how did we get here? The person that asked the question, how do you deal with your parents arguing? Tell them that you don't like it. Be honest with them. Make sure that you're not hiding your emotions towards this situation. And can you get them to go to therapy? Directly, I don't think so, but maybe. I don't know the situation. So just like you told them how you feel about them arguing, tell them what you think the solution should be. Tell them you think they should go to therapy. And they're either going to say yes or no, but at least you did what you could do. So that is it for this question. I hope that it was able to help the person that wrote it, and I hope that it was also able to help you that's watching this video. For those of you watching, please write in the comments if you have any questions for me, or if you have any advice you'd like from me, or just a general story from your life that you want me to read and that we can talk about. Okay, this is the real wave goodbye, and I will see you all in the next one.